Happy Friday. Are you over 50? Do you know anybody over 50? If you are, or if you know somebody, you need to be listening in today. Folks, we're not getting any younger. And in case you haven't noticed, the economy is not getting any better. In fact, it's not just me that's been telling you this for a long time, but I really think that we are in for it over the next 12, 24 months. I have been telling you guys way before COVID that you need to get your financial houses in order. You need to start preparing yourself because we want your golden years to be golden. Now, we got a couple of different scenarios that are playing out. One is our healthcare cost has skyrocketed. They're absolutely crazy, right? Your insurance premiums are out of control, and they're not paying for as much as what they did before. Some of us are having to care for our elderly parents or grandparents. That's a new thing that some of us maybe have not been prepared for. We're having to learn how to navigate those waters. And, the nursing homes and the assisted living facilities, they're not cheap. In-home health care is not cheap. Our health, some of us don't have that great of a health. I'm very blessed right now. I don't have any health conditions. Thank the good Lord right now, but that's not to say I won't in the future. I know I've got family and friends who do, and that's expensive. Now let's talk about the economy. Well, let me back up for just a minute. And if you think what I'm saying is false, I've told you this also before. Go down to Walmart, go down to your local grocery stores, go into the retail establishments in the mall, in the strip malls, and see who's working. It's elderly folks. It's folks over 50, over 60, over 70. They're not working because they want to. They're working because they have to. They're having to work so that they have insurance. Healthcare is a big deal, y'all. Healthcare is a big deal. Some of you may not be struggling, but I see it all the time, and I know what's going on. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the economy. The economy on our groceries has been absolutely crazy, as well as gas and everything else, electricity, probably your cell phone bills. We're not even going to get into real estate yet, but just think about all of those things over the last couple of years, how they have skyrocketed and got out of control. For folks who was living on a fixed income like Social Security, or even for those of you who have already retired, this new increase has really taken a bite out of your standard of living. Do you agree? I know it has ours. There's only 3 of us living in this house, and groceries are eating me out of house and home, and we don't even eat that much. That's what's so crazy. Folks, it's only going to get worse right now, not better, until we have some adjustments going on. So what can you do? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to get your financial house in order. You need to have an emergency fund set aside, because guess what? It's not if, it's when. You're going to have an emergency. And they say that the average family in America can't even cover a $1,000 emergency. Some of you say, well, I've got credit cards. Well, eventually those credit card bills and those cash advances and things have to be paid back. And we don't have any income coming in to pay those back, and that puts a ding on your credit. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole today. But the bottom line is you need to have an emergency fund set aside for when things go downhill. The water heater's going to go out. Your car's going to have an issue. You're going to have a problem with your roof, your septic. If you're a homeowner, all these things are going to happen. So you need to be mindful of that. Your children or your grandchildren may be struggling financially, and you need to help them. You may have that loved one that you have to bring in and take care of. So all of this stuff takes money. And if you've only got one stream of income, just like I've been telling you, you are really putting your family in financial jeopardy, and you are at risk. You need multiple streams of income. And I just posted last night, I don't know if you saw that, where the SEC has approved some of the Bitcoin. That's a huge step, y'all. I know lots of y'all been telling me, because I've been in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and in that space for a couple of years now. And I don't know how many of you have told me that stuff's not real. That's not real money. That's not real money. Well, I got news for you. A lot of us have been in that, and we've been spending that money. So whether you think it's real or not is beside the point, because we've been spending it. We've been buying it. We've been selling it. We've been spending it to buy goods and services. And now the SEC has come along and they've authorized that. And so now you're going to be seeing a lot of retirement accounts and different things like that. A lot of businesses already accept it. I accept it for payment of goods and services. I don't mind it at all. In fact, I prefer it over the dollar. So anyways, that's just a little bit of news. So what can you do as far as getting your financial house in order? One more step. Obviously, you need to be taking care of your health and doing those type things, but you need to have that base set aside. You need that emergency fund, and you need to start building multiple streams of passive income. Passive income is money that you earn while you're sleeping. You don't have to physically do anything for that. And the most logical way for folks to do that is when you invest in other people's dreams. You invest in other projects. You invest your hard-earned money into things that you expect to get a return or some type of reward out of that. And one of the most basic things that you all probably can agree with me is real estate typically is a very sound investment. They're not making any more land, right? There's a finite amount. And right now, I talked about yesterday, we have the perfect storm going on. People can't afford to rent because the rent's too high, and they can't afford to buy because the interest rate's too high. So something has to give. That's a real weird scenario, because most of the time, y'all, you can either afford to rent and not buy, or you can, now you can afford to buy, so there's no need to rent. But right now, there's a lot of people in a pickle, in a jam, and they can't do either because their wages have not quite caught up for that. A couple of things I wanted to share with you on that. My niche is vacation properties and single family homes. So I don't have any experience in apartment complexes, big groups like that, but I'm interested because if you play Monopoly, you know how to win that game, right? You buy the property, then you put houses on it. You get enough houses, then you put a hotel or something like that on there. Well, in the real world, it's the same thing. So I've been doing some training on learning to do that. But in the meantime, I'm doing what I'm telling you to do. I'm putting my money in with an expert, somebody who knows how to do that and who knows how to make money in that sector. And then eventually I'm going to move more money that way. But right now, I'm working in the vacation space. I'm working in the single family homes, residential homes, because that's the space that I know. And it doesn't cost a lot of money for you to get started in real estate. A lot of people think you got to have money, you got to have credit, you got to have connections, you got to have all those things. Well, you do have to have connections. You need to have, access to be able to participate in some of those opportunities, but it doesn't take a lot of money. Our group, for example, our plan is to buy at least 20 homes this year, and we're going to start out and we're going to buy one home a month. And we can do that by crowdfunding. And crowdfunding means you have a lot of people that contribute very small sums of cash each month or each quarter. And, $100 here or $100 there doesn't seem like a lot of money until you have 5,000 people putting $100 in. Now you have $500,000 to work with. That's just how easy it is. Think about how many properties would you need for rental income to replace your current income that you work for, or your retirement income, or to increase your standard of living. Need to figure that out. Google it up in your local area. You can go to Zillow or Realtor.com, any of those sites, just to kind of give you an idea, just to see how much would it take to replace your income. We do something a little bit different in our group because of the economy. The economy is not good. Like I said, there's a perfect storm brewing. And in that commercial space, just to give you an idea, there is expected to be $90 billion at risk loans that are set to mature in 2024, and they're going to be unable to refinance. What's that mean? That means they're just in the commercial side. That's the apartment complexes and those type things that I was telling you about. That means that all these income producing things, they're going to end up going into foreclosure and have to sell. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity in that space. So I want some money set aside so that I can give that to my guru and let him make some money for me. Okay. But over here, a lot of the COVID money and different things like that have fallen out. And now when people didn't have to make those mortgage payments or make their rent payments, and you couldn't, landlords really had a tough time because they couldn't get them out of their properties, all of that's coming to a screeching halt. And, interest rates at 7%, people can't afford it. So there's going to be a real big glut right there. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities for the single family residence properties. And yesterday I spoke about the co-living arrangements. I've been seeing a lot of that in urban areas and in the suburbs where families are coming together. I'm not talking about roommates where, like in college, two people would get together and share a place. I'm talking about families, y'all. Families are sharing homes. I know down here in Florida, that's not that unique of a situation. We've got parents sharing homes with their children to have a home here at the beach, or brothers and sisters sharing, that. Well, this new thing is more in tune with two families getting together just for a regular living arrangement and sharing a home. They can split the bills, and they both have a better quality of life standard of living than what they could on their own. So I expect that to be a real big thing. So here in our area, I have 3 markets that I've been sharing with you guys that we have access to. One is the short-term rental market, which is like Airbnb. That's for vacation rentals. I have thousands of people on my Facebook feed. I am quite sure, because I was at 95% occupancy, y'all, just through friends and family, we can keep these properties rented. Everybody likes to come down here to the Gulf of Mexico and play on the beach. I'm just saying, right? So just through family and friends, word of mouth, you don't have to do a lot of advertising to keep your places rented. Now, some people have issues. The big corporations and all of that, they didn't do so well. But those of us small timers like myself who had friends and family who helped me keep our places rented, we didn't have any issues. So that's one target. The second one is the midterm target. And that is for like families in transition. We have 6 military installations down here in Florida. And so you have families coming in and they're looking for housing. So they might be looking for a rental. They might be looking for a home to buy. And they need a place to stay temporarily. Guest housing may not have anything available for them. The other one is like traveling nurses, government contractors, where they come in for 90 days at a time and they need a place to stay. So that would be your midterm level. We are really in a huge shortage of those down here. Not so much like the Airbnb, because good grief, y'all, we got 120 miles of sugar white sand and emerald green water. There's tons of condos and all of that stuff. But affordable ones, that's another thing. But anyways, the midterm, we have a great shortage of that. So that's a huge opportunity. And then, of course, you have the longer term, which is 1 year or more leases. And that's for like your traditional family once things get adjusted back to some sense of normalcy. Or we have the co-living arrangements, where that is going to be a big part of my focus this year, simply because I want to help out these families who are really struggling trying to find a decent place to live. And you might be asking, are you going to do fix and flips, all that kind of stuff? No, I'm not. First of all, that's not my area of expertise. So I don't want to get involved in that and get into a money pit. Number 2, I don't have access to good quality contractors in a timely manner. I've got some remodeling things that I need done for my particular house. And last year, I think it was in September, I think I spoke to you guys about this. I wanted a kitchen remodel, a simple bath remodel, and a garage conversion. A couple of other things, but nothing major. The kitchen was the biggest thing. Oh, and windows replaced. And those things were like 90, 120 days out at best. And that wasn't even guaranteed. So we have a huge shortage right now. Number one, on materials and supplies. And the other one is actually having workers that are available to do that job. So the last thing that you want to do as a real estate investor is to go in here and buy some property that you think you're going to fix and flip and get turned around in 30, 60, 90 days. And you can't even get a contractor to come and do any work for you. So we're not doing that. I am only dealing in turnkey properties that can be ready to go in 30 days or less. So we're talking beautiful homes already set up with very minimal things that need to happen. So again, if you are looking for a way to add a stream of income to your family's bottom line, we plan on adding 12 streams, if not more. And when I say 12 streams, that means every month we're going to be doing another stream. So that's how I count that. Actually, there's more than that to this, but just for right now, then by all means, you need to check it out, and you need to join our passive income generators group under the umbrella of the Bedrooms by the Beach program that we're doing. Everything is going to be backed by this real estate, and then we're going to do some other things with the rental income. So not trying to be doomsday, not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to tell you, if you're over 50, you really need to get your house in order. And if you haven't done it before now, I'm telling you, get started in 2024. You're going to look back and you're going to really wish that you had. Trust me, you're going to wish you had. And somebody, I forgot to mention this, had asked about the gold and silver. Absolutely. I'm buying gold and silver. You never know in these trying times how you'll, how things are going to go in the future, especially with our governments around the world doing such crazy things. And so it's prudent to diversify and have a lot of different variety of investments that you can put your hands on. And so by all means, I definitely promote that. But anyways, I'm going to hop off here and get ready for my upcoming Zoom. I hope y'all have a fabulous weekend. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I am only opening this up for January and February, then we cut it off for the rest of the year. The reason that I do that is we don't want to be accepting members all year long, because our focus is investing money and building multiple streams of passive income. That's what we do, and that's where our interest is, not in getting members. So we try and do a membership drive early on in the year, get that knocked out. And my goal for 2024 is 5,000 members. So if everybody on here that's listening, if you could find 3 people that would like to improve their financial condition this year, we could literally do this in less than a week. We could have everything funded, cash in the bank, ready to start submitting offers next week. That's how powerful the internet is. Most of you are like me. You probably have thousands upon thousands of people across social media and friends and family that you know. Look at your cell phone. You have someone. Perhaps you want to go in partners with a family member or friend and get involved. The more the merrier, because the more people that are in this space, the more cash we have available, the more offers that we can put in, the more real estate that we can buy. So again, my name is Nancy Gaskins, sowing seeds of financial hope and entrepreneurial opportunity in communities around the globe.